What's good, y'all? We got the RSF crew back, and it's your girl Alexis, and we got
What's up? You got your boy Kosali, aka the genius, aka SOLOMON.
Well, hello, hello, hello. Recap Sports Focus fans, it's your coach, Big Boss. And we in the building, ready to give you the latest recaps in sports. Oh boy.
man. We got a lot to talk about.
Oh yeah, we do. We definitely got a lot to talk about this evening. Oh yes, we do.
Yes, you got that right. What a game, what a
Monday
game.
Night Football.
Woo.
It went
Monday
down.
football. Who was playing? Tell me about it.
It was supposed to be bang bang, but it was giving pum pum. I don't know what was going
Oh
on.
God.
Y'all wasn't locked and
Oh,
loaded. What was happening? 49ers versus the Vikings. What's good?
oh, here we go. Blah, blah, blah. You know, it was a great game. Two teams fought hard. We're going to dive into it right away. I just here to tell you, congratulations to the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah,
You took the W. You earned it.
The purple people eaters.
Well, that's who they used to be.
they was eating y'all up
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Yeah.
they gave us the business. Shout out to all the 49er fans, 49er faithful who came all the way to be in Minnesota to watch the game. We fought hard, but we lost, and we earned the loss. We didn't, I say we got beat, but we also earned the loss.
you
But what
got
do you think?
stumped.
What do you think, Alexis?
I think y'all got stumped. Just looking at it, and I'm not even talking about the score. Yeah, it was a mangy little 5 points, but just looking at the overall stats, they had 452 yards on y'all,
Yeah,
almost
that's
500
awful,
yards.
awful. That's embarrassing.
That's
Awful lot of
embarrassing.
awful lot of yards.
That's embarrassing.
Quarterback
And they were
threw
2-14. Like that should have been clockwork
Definitely.
for the
well,
Niners, especially for what their defense is skilled in.
well,
What's
not
going
today. It
on?
wasn't. Not Monday night. It wasn't. You
Well,
Nah.
know, one
Was it a
thing's for
little too
sure.
chilly for y'all outside? What's going on?
Well, for
man.
sure, one thing is it looks one way on paper, but when the game starts, it's a whole different story. And
Yeah.
we saw that in Monday Night Football when the 49ers took the field. The game had all potential to be another 49er great game, but uh, it
Well, I'm
didn't
gonna say
turn
this.
out that way.
Hey, big ball. Let's just keep it 100. No cap, right? That was the biggest surprise, biggest loss of this week, man. Biggest, most surprise loss of this week. The 49ers, everybody thought they was going to win this game. Let's just keep it 100. Nobody
It's
thought they
definitely
was
top
going to
three.
goes to the Minnesota Vikings. Of course, yeah, the Bills was a bad loss too, but I think the 49ers was uh the worst loss, man. I mean, that's back-to-back losses right now. They lost to the Browns. Now you lost to the Vikings. That's not a good look. Um, they got to get it together, man. I don't know what's going on with Brock Purdy and the play calling, but something got to wake up out there, man. If they're gonna really say they're gonna be Super Bowl contenders, it's still early.
It's
Still,
still early. It's a long season. I mean,
It is. Got 17
to the
games.
fan who watches the game, you're at home. Yeah, I get it. You assume that the 49ers are going to win, but you heard me say it right here on Recap Sports Focus. I believe it was you, Coach Sully. You asked me what did I think about the game. I said, well, we'll see because uh, although we were scheduled to be the winners, but the point spread wasn't that high. And the reason why is because of injuries to the 49ers. I'm not
okay.
making no any excuse, but we had some key pieces missing. And it just seems like that had a lot to do with the mental of the team. When Debo is not around, the team kind of, loses their toughness on the offensive side of the ball. So, it took it played in the factor. But I ready to dive into it so we can, share all of our thoughts, so we can get off into
Um,
the meat of this.
So
I'm
let's
gonna get
fire up on the Niners then. Let's get into it. Let's start from the head down. We obviously know there was some issues with coaching, so Dad, touch on that.
well the coaching. I'm gonna say this. Shanahan's a great coach, but one thing about Shanahan, he rings the bell sometimes too much. Uh, I think that's the reason why Debo Samuels is out. I think that's the reason why Christian McCaffrey's out, because I think he kind of rings the bell a lot. You got to switch it up a little bit. One thing I seen the big win they did have against the Cowboys. I mean, you got an unstoppable tight end up there in Kittles. Uh, I didn't see no big plays to Kittles this week. You know, I'm getting the ball to Kittles too. You got this week. It should have been more focused on some Kittles. Um, you know, the Vikings. Shout out to the Vikings. I'm gonna say this, man. They came to play. My boy Cousins was doing the Cousins dance. If you'll see on our recap Sports Focus, he got jiggy with it. They came a little more prepared. The defense brought a lot of pressure on the Viking side. I just say we got the Niners got this time maybe a little more out physical, and they got.
Well, well, I don't know what game you were watching, but I want to tell you, as far as the coach is concerned, I agree with you. You know, the coach, he's got to think out of the box. He can't just keep beating a dead horse. If they were stopping our running game, I don't understand why you wouldn't hit your running backs in the flat instead of, just looking for the deep ball. I don't understand why you were not going through his progressions and just dumping it down. Take Tom Brady's game page out of his playbook and just hit it, dump it off to the running backs in the flats, dump it off. Just gain some yardage so your defense won't have to be on the field so much. Give your offense a chance. Give your offense a chance. But the other thing is, I see that you got some coaches that stick to their playbook, and then you got some other coaches that throw the playbook out and start taking notes. You see Belichick, he takes notes. Remember, they were down 28 points at halftime in the Super Bowl, and he took notes. And then at halftime, he came back and won the Super Bowl. Same way with the coach over at Kansas City. He's a note taker. He doesn't just stick. If it's not working, you got to change it up. And that's the era on. You would think, though, at this time that Coach Shanahan would learn from the heavy losses. He took some heavy losses. For him to be a winning coach, he's taking some heavy losses. I don't know how much longer they can put up with that. That's gotta hurt.
So what it
Yeah.
sounds like to me is that he's not spreading out the wealth amongst all the players, so it's not putting so much pressure on one specific player. And then you wonder why they end up injured, and then your season ends up the way it ends up. It's like,
Well,
yeah,
you
you
hit it on
made it to
the
the
head.
playoffs, but you're playing just one player so rough, you won't even survive the entire playoffs.
Well, you got that right, Alexis. Look at all the players who played for the 49ers who were injured while they played there, went to other teams that are having great seasons, injury free seasons. Let's start with McKenna, who came from Minnesota as a running back. Soon as he came here, he had ACLs, MCLs, sprained ankles, and he sat out for almost 3 years, barely playing 6 games for the 49ers. He leaves, goes to Kansas City, and he's a star running back. Let's take Breida. We had Matt Breida. Matt Breida came and was all star one year, all pro. Well, I'm not sure if he was all pro, but I know he was all star. And he came here and had a great season. Then he got hurt after 10 games, right? And he never came back, never materialized. Goes down to Miami Dolphins. Him and Mostert, both two great running backs, thought they were going to really get the 49ers opportunity to win the Super Bowl, get hurt, leave here, go to Miami, and they're all over the NFL circuit, having great
Well,
seasons.
it sound like, man, to me they might need another strength and conditioning coach. Maybe they need a different philosophy on how they deal with injuries. I mean, seriously, because you
Yeah.
don't want to keep key players injured, every season during the time, just to touch bases when they played Philadelphia in the NFC Championship last year. Brock Purdy, his thumb or shoulder gets hurt in the game. It's like, wow, this is bad luck. It's like, it's crazy. I mean, I'm gonna say this on a good note for the Niners. Purdy still look good. A lot of people throwing Purdy under the bus. That game wasn't Purdy's fault. He still looks poised. He still looks like a good young.
Oh, I don't know about
I wouldn't
that.
say it's not Purdy's fault.
Hey,
But
it's
yeah, it was.
The Minnesota's defense main goal was to keep the ball in Purdy's hands, and they did that successfully. And
but he still, I see some big plays he did. I just think, you know, like we would say, you got to take some notes. See, when it's a good game, it comes to coaching. Let's say between 7 to 10 points is coaching. It's like he was saying some adjustment at halftime. You know, I think Purdy's playing good. I mean, I think he's a good quarterback. I'm not throwing him under the bus yet. He looks good. It's only been 2 losses. He's only lost 2 games technically in what, maybe 15 starts, something crazy, 12 starts.
so I got
So
a question. What was up with those 2 picks?
I was going to say, I mean, come
well,
on,
I
Coach
mean,
Boy. He threw 2 picks at the crucial time. I mean,
okay,
and
I
they were
mean, the brother
horrible.
hit the worm after he caught it. I know you've seen it.
yeah. Hey, well, look, like I said, man,
Was that coaching?
but no, that's not. It's not coaching when you throw interception. Interceptions happen in football. However, I think they should have got Kittles more in the game. I just think that's the coaching. Like, okay,
He hit Kittles 7 or 8 times in the game.
I say Kittles should have been no. He hit it 7 to 8 times.
Yeah, he went to Kittles 7 or 8 times. Yeah,
So well, look at the stats, Lexus. Call me wrong. Let's look up the stats on Kittles right now. Let's go to the. Come on. Well,
Kittles was his only one who was getting open. Hey,
let me.
listen, one of the reasons why he threw those picks was because Minnesota blitzes 57% of the time in passing downs, and he's a young quarterback, and the heat was coming. I mean, you got these big 300-pound D linemen and linebackers who run 4.5 40s trying to take this young man's head off. Welcome to the NFL now, Brock Purdy. You know, there's more to this game. They were running all type of
Oh,
blitz
now.
packages and
Oh, wait a
schemes.
minute. Wait
They
a minute.
they played him 5.
So you got five receptions. Okay, that's
Yeah.
not bad.
No, but
But
how many? That's how many he
for,
caught.
for how many yards?
78.
That's
Yeah.
not good. Not a good day. That's what I meant. He
Well,
needs
he missed a couple of
8
those
to 10.
passes.
He needs
Hey, hold
8.
on, coach. Hold on, coach. A couple of those
Hold
passes
on. Hold on.
were
Hold
way
on, Coach.
over his head. He couldn't catch all of them.
Because you, Coach Stallings, timeout.
Well, they
It
did, but
sounds
you are right. They did do it 7 times, but he only did caught 5 of them.
he needs 10.
Yeah.
He needs 8 to 10 passes thrown his way a game. Let me say this though.
He couldn't even throw it to him. He was running half the
The
time.
score would have been worse if you would have tried to rely.
They're blitzing him.
It sounds like you throwing your quarterback under the bus already. I
No,
mean,
I'm saying it wasn't his fault. You got to give Minnesota credit. Their pass rush was blazing. They were blitzing almost every down.
so is he
So
Purdy good, Purdy bad? What's going on?
no, he's not bad. He's a great young quarterback, but he's
Okay,
welcome to the game of football. He learned yesterday that there's more to it to this game.
Yeah.
Instead of just staying in that back pocket and picking people apart, he learned now he's got to be even more poised because you're going to find out that there's some. You know what? This defensive coordinator, his name was Pools. He said he found that when he was an offensive assistant coordinator, that there was a coach that blitzed so many times that he realized that the quarterback for that team told him how difficult it was to play every down under a blitz as opposed to just a pass rush. So now that he's the defensive coordinator, that's the leading NFL team who blitzes is Minnesota. And you
okay,
got it. Yeah, so it's up to the coach to change his offense. You got a young quarterback who ain't been in the league for what, 2 years, second
right.
year, and you're gonna let him go up against a team where they blitz 60% of the time. Even Coach Shanahan said that it wears you down. They just blitz and blitz. He said it. Commentators responded that a blitz package that just comes at you starts to wear you down. You know what? Poor little Purdy. He looked like he was worn out too.
Well,
I
I'm gonna
just
switch here.
The
I'm gonna
Vikings just came out with a better offense.
they had a better
And
game plan.
that was without Justin Jefferson.
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick back on that, Lex. We'll switch gears to Kirk Cousins. Let me talk a little bit about Kirk Cousins. This guy is probably the most 0 to 100
Real
Clark
quick.
Clark Kent one day, Superman the next day I've ever seen. Like Kirk Cousins played probably one of the best games I've ever seen him play. If he could, the potential's there for him to take a team to the Super Bowl. It just seems like sometimes he don't put in the effort. It reminds me of I remember Kobe Bryant just saying, RIP to Kobe is just working hard, there's the work ethic. And I don't know this, it's just my assumption. But it seems like if he would put in more work, I'm talking about relentlessly pulling the team together, working out, he could be a top 10 quarterback. Because after the game, I seen one of his players put this top 10 chain around his neck. I guess saying he's a top 10 quarterback.
Cap.
Sounds
So
like
you
cap.
mean to tell me you
That's
think
all
they're
cap.
beating you think they're beating the Detroit Lions
No
in
way.
their division?
Well, this is what I'm saying.
No
I
way.
beat the 49.
You think the Vikings
Okay, that's one
They
game.
are going to be the division
49.
champs?
I,
That's one game.
Lex,
If you
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. However,
Because
I
you're
think,
talking Super Bowl, and I'm like,
but I,
wait a minute, that's not even in their palette. What are we talking
yeah,
about here?
but Kirk Cousins, like once again, what I'm saying. I mean, when he's on, he's on. He's a pretty good quarterback. It's just
okay.
not
He's
consistent.
inconsistent. That's not Super Bowl prepared. These last couple years, these teams that have been winning is because they're consistent. They're consistently good. You've been seeing the same teams in the Super Bowl, correct?
The team is inconsistent. You know,
They
Kirk
are.
Cousins was an all-star quarterback. Okay, Pro Bowl quarterback. Shanahan said he wanted Kirk Cousins. They were going to trade for him at one time. But I shout out to Kirk Cousins. He had a great game. I mean, great game. Some of those passes I hadn't seen no quarterback in the NFL lighting people up like that yesterday. He was in a zone, and
Lex, give me that. That's
you
For
got to
what?
give him credit on
Kirk.
what he did. He had
What
a
about
great
him?
game.
I mean, he had almost 400 yards passing with 378 yards. Like
378 yards.
that's why I was like, he was really stomping on y'all. Like,
Yeah, well, yes, he was. He gave him credit.
and
But
it was
then
like
on
it
the
was a
other,
better offense. It
yeah,
just
it was. I also say that horrible 49er defense, secondary, they were a step behind. They just, I don't know what happened. I'd be upset as a coach about that defense, their secondary, right? But I'm going to tell you someone else you got to give the credit to. You know what
Hopkins.
helped Kirk Cousins get in that pocket was his offensive line. The 49ers did get one sack. They
Wow.
block. They gave him chance to sit back there and take his time and hit his receivers. And see, and I mean, the 49ers got one of if the not best pass rush in the NFL. But shout out, I got to give credit where credit is due as an O-line coach myself. Woo, those boys was blocking
But
up
I
front.
also got to give credit to their tight end too, Hopkinson, because he was needed for those third down conversions. That's where the Niners were messing up at too. It was those
Well, he
third
does his
downs.
job. That's somebody you can count on. He's so reliable. Even in the games they lost, you can count on him to get his.
It was like
He's one of
when
the best.
Witten was with Dallas. Like you got him when you need him.
Right.
Yeah,
He's
that's y'all
every
boy.
game.
Throw that out there. Huh? That's y'all boy, huh?
Yeah. You can get him. You can guarantee that he's gonna show up every game, win or lose. He's just a
Yeah.
player. He's an old Iowa Hawkeye, just as Kittle is. just as Laporta is. That is some of the great tight ends in the NFL come out of Iowa Hawkeyes, and
Yeah.
him and TJ Hawkinson and Kittles, they work out in the summer together. It was just a tight end appreciation day on Sunday, and so it just seems like all the tight ends had big games. Yeah. So look at Travis Kelsey in his game. He had a phenomenal game. I guess they go out for appreciation day.
Well, I'm gonna say this, once again, man, one of the biggest losses this week. I mean, but a shout out to man, shout out to the no cap as far as this is no cap, man. Kirk Cousins, he definitely got swag, man. He all on the jet. He all on the jet with the brothers, man, with the bling bling. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got swag. He got a little. I mean, they play for him. I like his swag. You know what I'm saying? He just needs to keep it up, man. Keep the swag going. I mean, just keep it 100. Like the Lions just came out of nowhere. I mean, I could see Kirk Cousins then possibly giving the Lions a run for their money if he comes with his swag. If he cut on some, some 2 Chainz or some Jeezy before the game.
Cap.
Big time cap.
Uh,
Let's talk about that, okay? If you think that the reason why they won that game was just Kirk Cousins, then you're not giving their defense any credit. And I'm telling you, Kirk Cousins is who he is, Mr. Inconsistent. Don't bet your money on Kirk Cousins. He's
Don't.
proven for the
I,
last 7
I didn't
years
say that.
that. Well, I'm just telling you, he's proven himself for the last 7 years that he's gonna be a deer in the headlights. You just wait and see. He's another Garoppolo, Derek Carr. I don't know where they find these guys at, but I want to talk about the
No,
first
because
quarter. Okay?
that's true. Because they have good games and then they're horrible.
He's better.
It's always that way.
Oh
Those
yeah,
three
well,
quarterbacks.
he can't. He don't have nothing to prove it if he's better than to prove it. What has he done?
I'm gonna say one reason why I believe Kirk Cousins is definitely better than Garoppolo. He stays healthier, first and foremost.
But he ain't been to no. Has he been to an NFC
hold on.
Championship
He hasn't
game?
gone as far.
He plays
Has he
healthy.
been to the Super Bowl?
Does he know what it feels like?
Wait, no, it's like, how is he better?
Does he know what it
Is his
smells
record-
like when you walk through there?
Well,
Is
that's
his
all.
one loss record? Is his one loss record better?
I'm just saying this though, Lex. You put me at quarterback.
Did he go to Disneyland?
Well, we're not talking about you,
put
Coach.
Put me at quarterback though with that 49er team. I could have got to the Super Bowl. The
Oh
team was,
well, you know that. I don't know about that one, but
That's
anyway.
cap.
I mean, the
That's
team.
Yeah.
I could play. Trust me. But check this out.
You
But
might can, but could you
still
take
run?
one tackle?
But let me
Would
tell
you
you.
be able to?
Can you
Hold
still
on, Coach
run?
Sally. Would you be able to take one tackle?
No. Can you still run?
Hey, we be visiting you right now.
Can you still run?
But that's just, I'm just talking.
What you
But
saying, Coach?
And though, that's how good that team was. I mean, the problem with the Niners, the team.
Whoa. So you gonna just downgrade our ability because they're a team. They're supposed to be good. You got individual good players, and as a team as a whole, every year you can't just say it's just the players because this is a winning tradition. They're always up there.
What I'm saying though, those years with Bosa and Debo and if you
and Patrick
let's
Willis
just throw it out there.
and Alex Smith.
If you had an Aaron Rodgers on that team, if you had a Tom Brady on that team, no doubt.
On what team?
I'm not talking about hypothetical situations.
On what team?
The 49ers, the team when they played the Chiefs.
You guys would end up in the same position that he's in right now. He would have got injured because y'all played too rough. He's too old for that. He wouldn't even be able to last 6 months in your system.
I'm with the Raider Nation. Nation.
Oh, you're a Raider.
Oh yeah. He's
no more
pew. Let's go.
No more pew. I forgot.
Yeah, well, here we go. Okay, first quarter. Niners defense gets a big interception by Tre'Davious Ward. Okay, that's 13 minutes into the game. Niners begin to move the ball, but then turnover. Our
Yep.
boy Speedy McCaffrey fumbles and gives the ball right back. Now, this is his third of the season. I'm making a point about this. That, see, usually running backs fumble the ball when they're tired, or they fumble the ball when they're being gang tackled. And see, what I've been seeing these last two games, ever since he's been having those breakout games, they say white boys can't jump, right? But I tell you one thing, this white boy sure can run that ball. And I'm noticing that the teams seem like they're taking offense to it.
Hell of a
Like
movie. Hell of a
this,
movie.
huh?
I said, white man can't jump. Hell of a movie. Hell of a movie.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but this guy here is fast, and he's an awesome running back. And other teams are taking offense to it because nobody's really having a great season as a running back except for McCaffrey. And you play football, I play. You only going to be clowning. So if I keep watching the news and then I'm watching sports recap on sports recap focus, and they're talking about this guy who's breaking records, leading the NFL in rushing, well, not for long. But I'm coming for it.
Not for long. Hey,
Not for long.
that's a call. You know what? I'm just gonna throw a little side note out, man, real quick. I know. Shout out to Tyson Bagent, Chicago quarterback, rookie quarterback. He looked good, man. They're talking about he's possibly gonna be the starter. He's taking over Justice Fields' position. Sounds like no cap.
Yeah, yeah. He's good for the job. I mean, I just like what I saw. He's poised. He's got good QB vision. He can run. He's big. He can take a hit. I mean, I think he would be what that team needs to revitalize that team, to make them believe in themselves. It's not like having somebody to make you feel like that when we call a play, that we can execute the play because the quarterback is leading us. It's
Right.
when you don't know how he's gonna kind of rhythm he's gonna be in the day. And I just like a Derek Carr. I hate to beat a dead horse, but I think he's got a great arm. I think he is very smart quarterback. But you just don't know. Maybe it's his excitement. Maybe he gets overexcited. You just don't know. The same way with Garoppolo. If he gets excited, he gets happy feet, and then he begins to miss his targets. I
Right.
saw that with our young fella Brock Purdy yesterday. Once they started tuning up on him, he got to start missing his targets a little bit.
Well,
Last game.
speaking of quarterbacks, because let's talk about Dak Prescott, man. Dak Prescott,
Well,
the
hold on. We're still on the 49er game.
the
Right, you see
49ers.
how he
I mean,
tried to skate? I knew he was gonna do
Yeah,
it. He
we
was gonna
can't.
try to skate over
the
the
49ers
49ers
lost.
We can't
L.
do that.
40,
We're still.
Nah, when
Cuzzo.
you lose,
Hey,
you gotta
the
sit there and
49ers,
eat it.
No, we got a
Just
lot
like
to
they
talk
do the
about.
Cowboys.
we didn't
You need
talk
to
about the
sit in it.
49ers.
You ain't sat in it
No,
long enough.
no,
It ain't
no,
even been
no.
49ers
24
lost.
hours.
49ers
So,
lost. What's going on with Dak Prescott? Who they playing?
well, I also want
I
to
know
point
the
out.
Vikings wouldn't have Dallas looking like they had y'all looking yesterday.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to point out that the Minnesota's is last in the league in pass rush attempts, right?
Yep.
And and yet they had Brock Purdy running all over the place. And they also last in the league in rushing attempts. But the running backs was having a great day. 0 touchdowns the whole season in the first quarter, and the 49ers gave up a running touchdown. So it just didn't seem like it was their day from the beginning. Sometimes games begin to take a turn. Once that fumble happened with McCaffrey, the game shift, and the 49ers can never reclaim it.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Bang, bang.
But y'all's downfall was the penalties on defense.
And
Yeah.
then it doesn't feel any better when your kicker misses another field goal.
That's a great point. The kicker, he's been terrible these last 2 games.
Well, you can't afford it. When you got penalties, turnovers, and missed field goals, game over.
Game over.
Game
So,
over.
and so that's why I'm ready to get into the Lexus Cowboys, man. I'm trying to see who they play this week.
Well, let's start for week 8, just period. So This is our part of our no cap recap, or as we're gonna do our predictions for this segment. So for the Buccaneers and the Bills this Thursday, who you got winning?
Well, I'm gonna say Buccaneers versus Bills. Now I'm gonna say my boy Mayfield. I mean, he's came from Cleveland. He was big hype in Cleveland Browns. You know, Mayfield to be, a diaper dandy, the next coming great quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. However, sometimes the Browns, they're a little shaky sometimes. He goes to Tampa Bay. He's having a pretty decent season. Uh, he's looking pretty good down there. However, I'm gonna go with the Bills, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with the Bills. They've been inconsistent, but to me, they are the better team. That's no cap. They once again, they just need to stay healthy. The quarterback's a gunslinger. He reminds me of a young Brett Favre, but he's a hell of a quarterback too. Um, so I'm really impressed with the way Mayfield has bounced back his career. You know, because they were throwing him under the bus. I'm gonna keep it 100 with my boy. A lot of people don't like my boy Skip, but I rock with Skip. You know, man. Skip said Mayfield was gonna be something. He was gonna be still a starter in this league. I agree with that. However, the Bucks is a decent team. They're a solid team. They're a sleeper team, but they still got some great wide receivers in Evans. Um, but I just think the Bills probably be too strong. Where is they gonna be playing it at? Does it say are they gonna be in Buffalo this week? Or are they in Tampa Bay?
They're going to be. It's a good question. Let's see.
Thursday night. Yeah, they're great.
They'll be in New York.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, definitely. It's cold up there. It's freezing up there. And with the Tampa Bay being a sunshine state coming from Florida, I think the weather definitely gonna take effect on them for sure. I get a Bills. I get a Bills. I'm gonna say 24-10 Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
Buffalo Bills, huh? Well, I too going for the Bills. I think they get their starting quarterback back. Um, Tampa Bay, yes, Mayfield is down there. His career is resurging. I'm glad he finally found a place where he can land and feel like home. It didn't work too good up in Cleveland, and he's found him a home down there in Tampa Bay. But I just don't think Tampa Bay has what it takes to beat the Buffalo Bills, especially when they get their fearless leader back. He's a big old guy. He's about 250. He plays like a linebacker. He runs over people. Yeah, I got the Buffalo Bills real easy, 30-12.
Woo.
Oh wow. See, I was gonna think they was gonna give them a little bit of a run for their money. I'm still gonna say the Bills, just because looking back at the games that they've played, their wins have been more significant, in my opinion, than the Bucks wins have. So to me, I think the final score, I say 27-17.
Great point. Great point. It's like that's a great point you said about the Bills wins. It's like the Bills, they play up to their competition. The big games, they play
Yeah.
good. Then they throw
Right.
duds with bad teams. So,
Because when they whoop the Dolphins,
yeah, when they
whoop the Dolphins.
play, right, they play up to the competition, which is not a great thing. But when it's time to play big games, they step up. It's like they're not scared of the limelight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm with the Bills too. We all agree with the Bills.
All right. Texans versus the Panthers on Sunday. Who you got?
Texans versus the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Houston Texans versus the Carolina Panthers. I'm gonna let you go, Cuzzo.
This should be a no-brainer.
Houston Texans versus the Carolina Panthers. Well, it's a no-brainer. Panthers only won one game the whole season. They're not doing too good. I think the team is bellying up. They're waiting for some draft picks. I kind of think that this season is already packed in for them. They got the new young quarterback, but I got to give it to uh, the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud, rookie quarterback, has not threw an interception all season.
Wow.
He's looking good. He is definitely a smart young quarterback. The defense, DeMarco, the coach for the old defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, he's got that team playing a solid defensive football. They look good at the corners. They got a good linebacking core. I go for the Texans to win this game 21-10.
Okay.
The Panthers haven't won a game yet, so I'm gonna go. This probably
They
gonna
haven't
be
won, they
like a.
haven't
It's
won
probably
one
gonna be a
game.
third. This probably gonna be a 35-7.
They haven't won no games. Oh, I take that back. I thought they had won the last game.
I'm gonna give them 35-7 if they can get a touchdown.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess I like the quarterback down there in Houston. Yeah, no brainer, man. No cap. I think Houston rolls over Carolina Panthers.
Rams versus Cowboys. Who we talking? Who we
Oh, here we
talking?
go.
Oh
Don't
boy.
do us greasy.
Well, y'all who are the Cowboys? They should be at home, right? Because they just left the road. Were the Cowboys?
Cowboys is at home.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's break this down.
It's always a breakdown when it comes to Dallas.
Okay, this is Lexington. Let's bust it. Whoa, Cowboys. I'm gonna say this. First and foremost, great game last week against the LA Chargers. Great bounce back after the loss versus the San Francisco 49ers. Dak Prescott, he takes a lot of heat. You got the Cowboys, the America's team, so they say. So it's a lot of light down there on that team. However, me looking at the last game and playing the Chargers, got a lot of drop passes from their wide receivers. CD Lamb. That's why you see it around the league, around the football world. They trying to say y'all need some better receivers and they should go for Devontae Adams. However, me rocking with the Raiders, we definitely don't want to let go of Adams. But the inconsistency of the receivers is definitely a problem with the Cowboys. So I do like how the Rams is a solid, good team, well-coached team. It's going to be a good game. Me being the edge, the Rams definitely have pretty good defense. Playing in Dallas is not really an element because, of course, you guys are in the dome. You know what I'm saying? But you do got great fans down there behind a team. Dak Prescott, once again, we got to stay a little more consistent.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, man, but I'm going to say upset alert, upset alert, upset alert. Rams, Rams win
Upset
the
alert.
game. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Really?
21-17.
So what? Don't
LA
disrespect
Rams.
us like that.
Hey, that's not a bad pick. Hey, so
Don't
you're going with the
disrespect us
Rams,
like
huh?
that.
Well, I like to just simply say, this is going to be a defensive football game.
Yeah.
I like the defensive pass rush on both sides of the ball. If I want to get on the offensive side, I got to give it to the Dallas Cowboys. They still got a fairly decent line. But he has been sacked a lot this season. I just hope they covered up the tackle on the blind side that can give him a little bit more time. We know we got an MVP pass rusher over in on the side of the ball with the Los Angeles Rams. But then we got Michael Parsons, man, the man eater, the number
The heat.
11. Yeah, this guy here, I just saw the history of wearing the number 11 that coming out of college, that there have been some LeVar Arrington and the rest of these guys who are just some of the baddest linebackers in football wore that number 11. And so, yeah, Michael Parsons, I believe he'll be the difference maker in this game. He's got a chip on his shoulders, finally lost to the 49ers. And I just believe it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys 23-17.
I okay. Well, I'm gonna just say this real quick. Pressure on the Cowboys is like none other. They better win this game, and I'm gonna tell you this though, but I don't think they're gonna win it. I think after they get on
Well,
emotional
you just
high,
said that.
I know. So I'm gonna say this, like I said, the pressure just it's a lot of pressure riding on Prescott. He better step up in the receivers.
I
Yeah.
think the one thing, well, I wouldn't say Dak's just in horrible shape, but they do need to turn things around when it comes to being in scoring in the red zone for one. Because it's like we don't have a problem getting there. We just have a problem scoring when we are there. But I definitely have the Cowboys down for this because I just feel like our defense is going to come on top and we're going to come out a little bit better than they are. So I'm thinking 24-21.
All right. All right.
I don't see it being a super high scoring game because I think it's going to be a rough football game.
Yeah, well, spotlight players, Cooper Cup. Look for Cooper Cup to have a big game. He's back. It's his third game back after having a long injury. I look to see him to be a spotlight player. He may be the X factor.
I'm gonna say Stafford. I think Stafford steps up and plays a little better to old Dak Prescott. Let's see what happens.
We'll see.
All right. Who we got next? Yeah.
So next we got the Vikings versus the Packers.
Oh, that's a
That's
sleeper.
gonna be another win for the Vikings, in my opinion.
Oh no, that's a sleeper. I think right now when the going gets tough, the tough get going. I'm willing to say that I bet the Green Bay Packers beat the Minnesota Vikings 17-6. And why do I say that? I don't think they're going to allow them to score. I think that the Minnesota Vikings got up for this game because they had to win the game. They knew it was going to be on Monday Night Football. They were up for it because they wanted to beat a championship winning team. But then they're going to go into Green Bay and they're going to lay down. They're going to figure, this is a 500 team, and then they're going to get beat and then get embarrassed. I put my money on Green Bay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm riding with the Kirk Cousins swag right now, man. Hey, I think Kirk Cousins, I think this might be the turnaround game. If he takes it serious, if they really take it serious, I can see them going.
Yeah.
I think Kirk Cousins is going to win this game. I'll say 28-21 Minnesota Vikings.
I agree with that.
They're playing in Green Bay, right?
That
don't mean nothing. They got the same type of weather.
Problem on this one.
All right. Welcome to
the frozen tundra. Yeah.
Welcome to the tundra.
However, I think the momentum is. I think, like I said earlier in the show, if Kirk Cousins freaking practices and prepares, as we used to say, proper preparation prevents poor performance, man. If he plays and prepares every game like that, hey, he should be in some games. But we all know what we see sometimes. But I'm gonna give him another game. I'm gonna ride it. I'm gonna ride it.
Well, you can say that about every NFL player that plays if they practice,
not
if they
home.
prepare. Either you got it or you don't.
But I'm gonna tell you, it's one quarterback. It's a couple of quarterbacks in the NFL. You know what you're gonna get every game. That's Lamar Jackson. That's my homeboy. That's every game.
I can't necessarily say Lamar Jackson though, because Lamar Jackson don't always got good games.
Cap.
Okay.
Nah. Go ahead.
It's true. Historically speaking, it's inconsistent. He's better. He's better than a Kirk.
I saw him,
but he can be inconsistent too.
I saw him have a horrible game.
He just gotta stay healthy. When he's healthy, he's unbeatable almost. That's just my opinion.
How he is under pressure.
He needs a receiver too. He's kind of Devontae Adams. Truthfully, if you really want to talk while they talking about going to Dallas, you need to go to Baltimore. But that's a whole nother story. But
I feel like I could see Dallas taking him if we get rid of Gallup.
okay.
If we get rid of him. I don't see them getting rid of CeeDee Lamb because, I mean, he's already in that position now. Like, it's kind of a little too late. He got his money. So I think the most realistic one is if you replace Gallup with him. And then at that point, I'd let the two compete and see who's going to give me better results. But I would still, switch them out, kind of like how they're doing with the running backs with Dallas now. But I think they play better ball like that. Had they did that system when we had Zeke.
Dallas?
Dallas.
What that boy say? That boy said Drake. Drake?
All right. Don't be a hater.
Who else we got, y'all? Who we got?
The underdogs, we got the Saints and the Colts.
Saints and the Colts.
Whoever wins this is going to be a wipeout.
I'm going to say who that. Shout out to the Who Dat Nation. Saints to me, like I said, I like Carr, man. I think Carr should have stayed another year with the Raiders. I think Carr, once again, you got a decent car. It's not a sports car. It's more like a
sports car.
A Studebaker.
It's more like a commuter car.
A bucket.
A neon Sentra.
Nah, that ain't even no commute car. That's the car you can only ride around in your town.
He a nice Nissan Altima.
No, he ain't. No, that's not reliable. Nissan Altima is reliable. Derek Carr is not.
Well, Carr, he plays. He's a good leader. And I'm gonna be honest. The Saints. I mean, one thing I like about the Saints, they got great fans down there in New Orleans. You don't never see them bashing each other. Saints stick together. The Colts is having an up and down season. They got a lot of injuries up there. Indianapolis Colts. They're not really healthy right now. I think it's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a slow game. It's gonna be to me, a dull game. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna give it to the Saints. I'll say 17-7. New Orleans Saints.
Oh, okay. I think you're not giving the Colts that much credit though. Like, they've been scoring the last couple games. They've been scoring like pretty high scores. So I don't think it's going to be that easy for the Saints to win this. So I'm going to go against the odds and say that the Colts are going to win, let's say 31-17.
Okay.
Wow. 31-17, huh?
Look at their records and who they've been playing. Look at their scores. They can score.
They've been playing some pretty tough teams. The Colts has had one of the toughest schedules they've had in the last 2 or 3 years. And they've been in every game. They've been losing some close games.
Yeah, they're close.
Yeah, they've been losing some close games, and so that just lets me know that they've been in some battles. But you got one of the better defenses in the NFL at New Orleans. Yeah, they're coming off a horrible game a couple weeks ago where they got blown out. But they're here to redeem themselves. But they're on the road. New Orleans has never been a road team. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is going to be a close one. I think the score is going to be 26-23.
Who you got?
I'm going to have to go with New Orleans.
Okay. Who that?
Y'all trusting Carr? Y'all trusting the bucket?
Well, I'm trusting in a field goal. That's what I'm trusting in.
Well,
okay, so the kicker gonna be the star of that game.
Yeah, because Kamara is back. He's looking good. Remember, he's one of the better backs out of the backfield. So he's looking good. They got a great running game. I'm not going to put the game on Carr. I'm going to put it on the running game. Kamara's going to look to have a big game. They run the ball heavy down there. They got some good receivers, but their pass rush, their linebackers, probably one of the top 10 defenses in the NFL. And I just think that the kicker is going to save the day. 26-23.
All right.
What about Patriots versus Dolphins?
Oh, yeah.
The Patriots versus the Dolphins.
I think the Dolphins are gonna want to.
Go
Mm,
ahead. Start this
I
one off.
think. Well, I think the Patriots are want to try to get their lick back for losing in September's game because
So,
it was a close game,
hey,
but I feel like that should be enough momentum
huh?
to make you want to come back and turn it around.
Sound like a little cat, but I don't know about that.
But I
But
mean, but maybe the Dolphins are mad enough after that loss where they're not gonna let that happen. You
but
know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying? They might got a little fire under them. So I'm
But
like,
you know
I,
what,
mm,
you got a point. I'm not gonna say full cap. I'm gonna say semi cap because it's a division game. So
yeah, it could go either way. Like
it,
you know how it goes. They win the first one, and then when they come back again the second time around, they might want to get their lick back. It
right.
happens every time in the division.
And the Patriots just had a big win against the Bills.
See,
Okay, you know what? Once my thing is where the home game at? Where they playing?
They play in Miami.
They playing Miami. Oh yeah, big cap. That's cap. That's cap for sure.
you gonna
But
hang it out like that?
well, this is what I say, Lex. Now when Tom Brady, and this is just a historical fact, when Tom Brady played uh, for the Patriots, he barely beat the Dolphins for some reason. When he went to Miami, it was like he couldn't play in Florida. I don't know what it was.
It's a rivalry thing.
Um Belichick did have a good bounce back win against the Bills. However, I think the Miami Dolphins is a high powered offense. I think Tua played really good against the Eagles. I mean, they were right there. It was a good game. I don't see no real fall off in that game unless Tua just has a horrible game. The Patriots win, but I don't see Tua. He's been pretty consistent for the most part for the year. They got the highlights and they got the speeches down there in Miami with Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill is gonna have a big game. The pilot, they call him the cheetah. He probably go for 2 tugs this game. Um, Belichick teams are always well coached. They're not going to too much beat themselves, but they just really bland. They always been kind of bland to me, but they're even blander now that they don't have Tom Brady and nobody up there. It's like it's no salt on their steak. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no Lawry's, no Creole seasoning shit. I don't know. I don't see the flavor down
I
there,
don't
man. Them
know.
coming to Miami and winning, but they don't beat themselves.
But it
Belichick.
could be a even game where like it'll come down to either a field goal or a touchdown. I think it's gonna be that close of a game. It was when they played last time. They literally lost by a touchdown.
You got a great point. I mean, because like you said, division games are always hard for our games. True. I agree with you on that. That's no cap. But I just think the home field. I think Miami after the big loss to Philly, which was a good game. I think they come back and rebound. If they lose like how the Niners did, this 2 game slide, I mean, I feel bad for NFL. I don't know what's going on. It's just like we just, um, it's no separation. If Miami want to be considered one of the top teams, they got to win this game. Like I told you, when me and you was talking about the Cowboys, uh, when the Cowboys play the Chargers, like I told you, I said, the loss to the Niners is okay, but are you going to come back and get that win against those Chargers?
Yeah, we
And
did
by y'all,
talk about that.
by
Yeah.
y'all did that, see that shows a pretty good
But
team,
sometimes you need that to
right?
get to pick it back up. You need it.
And right, and that's what I think. That's why I put the Dolphins in that situation. I think the Dolphins bounced back from the Eagles' loss, and I think they handled their business. I'm gonna say Tyreek Hill has a big game. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 28-14.
I was gonna say 24-21, but I think it might be the Patriots that kick a field goal or something and just turn it around.
Okay.
I think the kicker is gonna be the reason why they win.
Hmm. Great point.
All right. Well, I believe home field advantage is everything. Uh, New England never ever played well down in Miami. Um, like you said, Coach Solly, it could be a weather change, but I do also know that the last time uh, I watched Miami play, Tua was slinging that ball all over the field. He has one of the greatest touches as past, you
Bless
know,
you.
quarterback touches in the NFL right now. They definitely throw the deep ball. I think they're a little disappointed on their last game, the last loss they took. I look for the Chiefs to take it out against
Chiefs.
um,
You mean the
excuse me. I look for Miami to take it out
Patriots?
against the yes, thank you, against the Patriots. It's a blowout, 38-12.
Woo!
Yeah,
Dang.
I think it's a
Run it
blowout.
up,
We're gonna run the score up.
run it up, run it up.
All
Hey,
right. So now the New York teams, Jets versus Giants. Who you got?
Jets versus
Oh,
Giants.
oh yeah, I like this one right here. This is what
All right.
I've been waiting on: the Jets versus the Giants. I think that it's gonna be a pretty sloppy football game,
Yeah.
right? I just don't think neither one of them have defenses that can control a football game. But the better defense goes to the Jets. They just came off a big victory, amen. And so I think that the Jets could be the team that will uh, overrun running game, overrun the running game of the Giants. And I look for the Jets to take this one. I don't know. Are they at home? Who's at home?
Mm, this is going to be at the Giants Stadium.
They
Yeah,
play
well,
at
I think they're going to get beat. Quarterback is inconsistent. They're playing with a backup quarterback. Or maybe they get the starter back. Jets, 17, nothing.
well,
I
like
don't
I
even look
said,
for them to score.
well, they
Um,
like the New York. What's interesting, what's kind of crazy about this, who's going to be the home game? Because they both play at the same stadium, which is kind of weird, right? If you don't know, they both play in New Jersey.
Right. Well, it doesn't matter
I don't
if,
know who's going to have
because
the field advantage of who they.
you still, even though they're playing in the same, one is still a home team, and the other one's,
I know that.
yeah.
But what I'm saying, that's pretty interesting, right? So who they going to say?
Well,
So
it
who?
happens every
Well,
year.
so who actual home game is it? Because they both play in the same stadium. That's one thing. That's
true.
pretty dope. Second, uh, I like the Jets, man. I just think the Jets are better coached. They have a
Well,
much
folks.
defense. Like you said, I don't think it's gonna be high scoring, no. I think it's gonna be a more slug out, straight New York, gritty New York weather game. Um, I'll give hats out to the Jets, man. I think the Jets is gonna win this game. I'll say 17-10.
Well, I was just
Uh,
about to say that. That is hilarious.
Jets. Jets.
I just think they're going to come out a little better in turn. I think the Jets will come out better defensively than the
Well, you
Giants.
got a good point too, Coach. You said that they both play in the same stadium, and they're both New York teams, but they play in New Jersey. Go figure. But
Right.
Right.
the home, yeah, the
That's
home field team. Well, that's because they used to be the New Jersey Jets, but now the home field team will be the New York Giants. And so, what's so good about this? The real football game is going to be in the stands.
right.
You're going
Right.
to have some good old bar fights.
Yeah,
Man,
somebody
I can't wait to watch this game.
yeah, shout out, man. I'm gonna say this, man. It was big hopes for Aaron Rodgers. Shout out, hope he gets back healthy. I already been on the sideline calling plays. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers, Cali kid. Shout out to Saquon Barkley. I think he's hurt too. Running backs need to get more love. Um, However, hopefully they both attend the game. And you know what I'm saying? Get you a pie, as they say, grab you some pizzas, and yeah, enjoy the New York game. It's gonna be kind of lit.
Well, actually, Saquon Barkley is back. He had a pretty decent game last game. I think they would benefit. The Giants always love to run the ball. I think they would benefit by concentrating more on giving him the ball, especially out in passing him the ball because he's a great open field runner. But the young kid Jones, I believe that's his name. He's still learning the game of football. He's still reading coverages. Let's just hope he has a better game this game. But I like the backup quarterback up at the New York Jets. He's got a good arm. He's
Yeah,
a rookie. He's trying his best. He listens. And so far the coaches covered him. They don't put him in a situation where he can embarrass himself or really truly hurt the team. And actually, he took fire in the fourth quarter of the last game. That's why they were able to come back and get the victory. So, but what I really like is the Williams brothers that play for two brothers that play for one's a linebacker, one's a D tackle that played for the Jets. And I like their defense. I like the way they remind me of the 49ers, and go figure, because their coach used to be the defensive coach for the San Francisco 49ers.
that's
So
true.
I look for them to really have a good game at home. That's to me, that's the game of the week. That'll be the premier game, the Jets against the Giants.
Yeah,
That's the game of the week.
no.
Yeah, I think so. Because you know why? Because you're going to see some hard football. Yeah, you're going to have a whole bunch of great stars. It's going to be that, if for football fans, for those who love the smash and pound, great, hard football, it may be a little sloppy because of the weather, but I think you're going to find this is going to be a good game.
You know
So I'm
the
going to put
game
a
that's
pin
gonna
to that.
A
the
good
game
game.
that's honestly the game that's gonna be better than that game, in my opinion, is gonna be the Eagles versus the Commanders.
Okay.
That's a good division game. Even though the Commanders aren't doing as good as the Eagles, the Commanders are still gonna step up when it comes to those division games. I think
Yeah.
that's the
I,
game that's gonna get down and dirty.
I disagree with you too. I disagree with him. I disagree with you.
Ooh,
I
the
think
Niners.
no. The Jaguars. It's the Jaguar game. The Jaguars are playing. Who are they playing?
The Steelers.
That's the game of the week, no doubt.
We'll
Jag.
see, because they could wipe them out. I still think the Jaguars are gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a wipeout. I don't think the Steelers are gonna win that game.
That's a coin toss to me. I mean, Jaguars Steelers are both coming off 2 wins. Let's talk about that game right now. I want to dive into that. I'm gonna say this, man. Me being African American coach, coaching and understand what a hard it is. Shout out to Deion Sanders, man, prime down there in Colorado. Shout out to all Tony Dungy, African American coaches. Shout out to all the African American coaches from
Mike
youth football,
Tomlin.
youth all the way on up. But I'm gonna time into Mike Tomlin. I'm a big fan of Mike Tomlin. Not a big fan. I've never really been a big fan of the Steelers, but I am a big fan of their coach. I've never seen a team more prepared and you utilize and gets the best out of their players. Pickett, he's get the best out of this young quarterback.
Yeah.
Najee Harris, out to Najee Harris, Bear native. You know what I'm saying? Doing his thing. He gets the best out of these guys. I do like what they're doing down in Jacksonville. Also, they're well coached. I think both these teams are probably have some of the best coaches right now in the NFL. However, I'm gonna get an edge right now, and I know I'm gonna get an upset. I mean, I don't know who's favorite in this game. Who they got favorite? Can you get that for me? Who they got by? Who they say gonna be favorite to win this game?
Well, what's the name is the favorite?
Probably Jacksonville, right?
Jacksonville.
I'm pretty sure Jacksonville is probably the favorite. I'm gonna let her look that up while she's checking that out. But I'm gonna say this though, I'm going with the Steelers, man. I'm going with the Steelers. I'm pretty sure because the Steelers played on the road. I think last game, so I think they're gonna be. And
yeah,
it's
they're in
hard.
Pittsburgh.
It's
They
hard
play
to
in
win.
Pittsburgh.
It's hard to win in Pittsburgh. First, it's probably one of the best home field advantages in the league.
So I have you're going for Pittsburgh because of the black coach.
The Jaguars are actually a 1.5 road favorite.
Right, exactly. I knew that. So look, I'm not going because they're a black coach.
Well,
First
that's
of
what you said.
all, I said shout out to African American coaches.
You,
He's A black coach, white coach. He's wearing the best.
Well, why are you going to? What makes Pittsburgh your favorite? What is it about
Well,
Pittsburgh?
what makes Pittsburgh my favorite because they are well coached,
Okay.
and I think that they're not going to beat themselves. Once again, that's another team that they're not going to beat themselves. You gotta beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's just a proven fact. And when you going into the terrible towels, they swinging them towels up there in the stands in Pittsburgh. It gets ugly up there, man. It's cold. It's grimy. One of the most physical teams. I mean, Pittsburgh Steelers is one of the most physical teams since the '70s. You know what I mean? They got a real tradition out there in Pittsburgh.
But I
You know,
mean, the Jaguars just have 4 straight wins. So I mean, if they keep up that momentum, that could I don't think it's really gonna matter that it's an away game for them, but I think they got that momentum going already. So I think if they keep going and doing what they're doing, they could definitely beat them at home.
yes,
I agree.
I would
I
disagree with
agree. Jaguars are the better team.
that.
I
That's no
believe they're
cap.
going to beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. Yes. Good that they're a great coach team. It's that, but the Mike Tomzak, I think he's an excellent coach, but he's not on the field. Okay,
Right.
so I think that the Jaguars are going to go in there and they're going to come out with the victory. I think the Jaguars are going to win this game. Close score, 22-12.
I'm going Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's going to be a stronger game than that. I think they're going to both put up some points. 17-14, Pittsburgh.
I think it'll be 27-17. But I think the
Jackson.
Jaguars got this one.
Jaguars are explosive. They got NTN as the running
Well,
back.
remember y'all said this. I'm glad this is being recorded because I can't wait to come back to this after come Sunday night.
Yeah, because I want definitely gonna come back and
Well,
recap this cap.
We're
We're
gonna
gonna recap the
these
cap.
games.
We're gonna recap this one for sure.
Yes, we
Definitely
are.
recap the cap.
Because I think this is the game of the week. This is the game of the week for sure. I think this is the game of the week.
Okay.
Sure. It's my week at least.
So then,
Last but not
today
least,
is the first NBA game.
Oh,
Are you ready?
hoops.
are you ready for some
Got the
basketball?
Nuggets versus the Lakers and the Warriors versus Suns. What we thinking?
Well, let's talk about the Nuggets versus the Lakers. And I'm not a Laker fan, never have been, never will be. Actually, I voted for Kobe. I rooted for Shaq, but Lakers overall, I'm not a Laker fan whatsoever. Yeah, I root for the players, but nah, I can't. Lakers is all about show. And I tell you right now, I'm not a LeBron James fan. They play against the Denver Nuggets, though. I think they're gonna win the game. But this is just a bunch of cameras, lights, action. Yeah, they got 1, 2, 3 maybe good players, but overall, I don't think they're gonna do much this year. It will be televised though. It will get all the reviews. Oh, they're gonna just blow. LeBron James, the greatest thing since gasoline, But yet, whatever. He's a crybaby.
He is.
Oh,
That's why I can't stand him. He cries too much for me.
Crybaby, man. He gets no help here.
okay, well, I mean, shout out to the first NBA game of the season. Shout out to Denver Nuggets, who was the champions of last year. Got to give Denver Nuggets their flowers. They won a championship last year. I think their first NBA championship ever. That's a big deal. They got a great team down there in Denver. I'm not gonna say I disagree with Cuzzo as far as him saying that the Lakers are overrated. They're not gonna have a good season. They're gonna definitely be top 3 in the West. Anthony Davis, he just got to stay healthy. LeBron, he's gonna be healthy. He's a physical specimen. He doesn't really get hurt. If he could just stay healthy, they both stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
The man. I mean, well, he played his 22nd, 23rd. I mean, what's the man 21st season?
Yeah, well, you know what happens when players play that long. That's when your Achilles. I'm telling you, that's when your Achilles pops. That's when you have an ankle. He's already got a big toe problem.
Wish that on the man like
I'm
that.
not wishing nothing. I'm telling you facts. I don't wish nothing on the guy. He can play till he's 60 for all I care. I'm just telling you that playing too long never really helps anybody.
Well,
You
LeBron's
know?
a different kind of beast. I'm gonna give 100 to that. And then you used to be a big Kobe Bryant and Shaq fan. I can't believe you got on.
I just told you. I just said I was. I just said I rooted for him. Did you not just hear me say that? But what I'm trying to tell you, I've never been a Laker fan because back when the Lakers had the Showtime, I was a Boston or Detroit fan. I never really liked the Lakers, but I love Kobe and Shaq. You know that, and then I loved Kareem too,
I
and
love
Magic.
Shaq, man. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I will take
The
that.
heart of the Lakers. But
Right.
you can't hate on him for saying that because you were never the team's fan when LeBron was moving around. You were just a LeBron fan. Why he can't be a fan?
I do
That's
like
come on, thank you.
you
Thank
got
you,
me.
because whatever team LeBron played on, he had a jersey. So
Every
Yeah.
you
time
got
I will never forget, he left Miami Heat. He said, "What Miami Heat?" I was like, "Dang."
I'm a big fan of LeBron. You know why I'm a big fan of LeBron? I always say this. I've never seen a kid come out of high school and deal with so much pressure. I've watched sports all my life. I've never seen a kid, they say 18 years old, he's going to be top 5. He hadn't played, hold
I
on,
told you about LeBron when he was 14.
he hadn't played one basketball game, Alexis. He was on the Sports Illustrated, and they would say he's going to be top 5. The man right now is the all-scoring leader. He has 4 championships. He's never had any trouble off the field. I mean, the kid, hey, man, he got a great family. I mean, it looked like he's pretty. I mean, he lived up to the hype. You know, a lot of people
He's had a great career. He's had a great career. But
that
I believe I'm the one told you about it when he was 14, right here in Oakland, California.
did.
When he was
You
dunking the basketball, I called you and told you you're going to hear about this guy. You know the reason why he was on that team? Because they saw money. That's why he was on the Sports
and he
Illustrated.
and he's definitely brought money to the league.
Yeah.
The Lakers. I mean, shout out to the Lakers. I mean, like I said, I don't think they're gonna win tonight. But I think they are going to be a good team. I think Denver wins tonight.
And it's
And
gonna
The
be and
Denver
it's gonna be
Nuggets?
at Denver.
The Denver Nuggets are going to beat the Lakers? Boy, what kind of LeBron fan are you?
well, I'm a
You
realist.
think
I mean, I just think right now, first game of the season, I don't think LeBron gonna, in Denver. I just don't see them really right now. The air staying up there in Denver.
well,
Uh,
have you
Can't
admitted?
breathe straight.
yeah, you can't.
Well, just kind of give that team. You don't forget you got big Anthony Davis. You got the new young kid Reeves. You got the Russell's back. You know they got a pretty solid squad. But I'm gonna tell you who is the beast of that team is the kid that came out of the school from up north who just got traded there last season. What is his name? Famunga. This kid has been dominating all preseason. I can't think of his name, but you watch. They're a pretty strong team. I'm just not a big fan of them, but I think they'll beat the Denver Nuggets. I mean, come on, Denver
In terms
Nuggets.
of first game back, I mean, it's gonna be a good game. I just think the Nuggets pull it out to this game. I think the Joker. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, whoever got Anthony Davis' number is the Joker, man. The Joker's a beast, man. You know what I'm saying? He's hard to stop. Uh, I think Aaron Gordon, he's the X factor. He gives LeBron problems. He's big, he's strong. You know, they just got a good team, but it's early. It's only the first game of the season. It's good. The hoops is back. You know what I
What
mean?
about
We look
the
fortunate.
Warriors versus the Suns? And that's
Whoa!
gonna be in the Bay.
Well, I'm a big Golden State Warrior fan. I've been a Warrior fan since Tim Hardaway. You know what I mean? But we ain't gonna go there right now. I'm gonna say the Warriors. They got the big addition with Chris Paul. It's gonna be a high-flying, high-scoring game. They're playing the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant is over there. They got Beal. They got Durant. They got a squad too. They got some scores over there. It's gonna be a great game, man. It's gonna be a high scoring game. Um,
Okay.
uh,
So you say there's no defense tonight, huh?
not really a lot of defense. I think first game of the season. I think, yep, I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I don't think Draymond Green is playing. I'm not sure, but I think he might be
Oh
out.
no, he's ready.
Oh, he ready because he ain't played none of
Draymond's back. Yeah, he's ready.
it. Okay, that's gonna be good. So it's gonna be in Golden State, right at the Chase Center. So I'm a Warrior man. I got to go with the Warriors on this. That's not biased. I just think Durant, he gonna understand. He should have never left the Warriors. But they get some great pickups. They did some great trades with Beal coming from the Wizards. Bradley Beal. That was a big pickup for the Arizona Suns. I mean, for the Phoenix Suns, excuse me. The Golden State Warriors do got Chris Paul. Chris Paul is going to be an addition. OG Chris Paul is playing with the Warriors. However, if Green is back tonight, Cuzzo, does Paul come off the bench? Or who is they starting? Because you're gonna be too small. You got Curry, Paul, Klay Thompson. That's too small. With Wiggins, we're gonna run the forward. So
Exactly.
gonna,
Draymond won't be starting tonight. He'll be coming off the bench. He's just got to get his legs up underneath him. He didn't play in the preseason, so he's not. He's back. He's ready to go, but he's not at game time ready to start. But I noticed something. You just called Chris Paul OG, and LeBron's played longer than him. But when you talked about LeBron, it was the king. But when it was Chris Paul, OG Chris Paul. Wow.
oh,
Anyway,
oh,
I just want to say that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. See, you
LeBron,
But you see
downplay
how
Chris
he
Paul.
plays light when it comes to his favorites.
Yeah, you downplay Chris Paul. Shout out to Chris Paul. Great move, Chris Paul. You came to a championship winning caliber team. But I'm going to shock you right now. The Warriors have been doing a lot of turnovers. We still got the same problem. I think it's because of the type of ball we play. When we get into early offense, run and gun, they call it early basketball, where you just run, you kind of run and gun. They're unselfish teams, so they like to pass the ball, but then, we do a lot of turnovers in a way. Last year, Steph Curry averaged 4 turnovers a game, which is not unheard of for a point guard because he's got the ball in his hands most than anybody, right? Well, now he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands because he Chris Paul, who doesn't turn the ball over that much. But the last 2-3 years, he's had a problem with turnovers. So that's kind of strange. Some people say it's because of his age. Well, I'm leaning towards the Phoenix Suns to win this game tonight. I think that unless he allows his bench to play the game, in the history of this coach, he tends to let everybody play in the preseason. When the season starts, he doesn't go deep down the bench.
well,
And I don't know why that is, but I hope he's got the right attitude to play Kuminga and Moody and everybody else. If not, it's going to be a problem.
that's a great point. See, to me, I
I
disagree with.
personally think the Suns are going to win the game by 6.
I disagree. I mean, as far as what you said is Draymond Green coming off the bench. I think Green Pride is like, hold on, Chris Paul. It's my squad. We've been whooping y'all your whole life. I'm not coming off the bench for you, dude. I'm starting.
I'm just saying tonight,
hold
he
on.
hasn't played all preseason.
I don't care. Draymond Green got the attitude. He's not going. I bet you he starts tonight. I almost bet $100 Draymond Green starts tonight. And I think
okay? So what happens? What happens if he does? What's the bet? Since y'all want to throw bets out,
Chris Paul.
We ain't got a bet. If that's what he thinks, it's all right with me.
I think because Chris Paul makes him too small. Well, Chris Paul and Draymond Green, and Steph Curry starting, they're too small. You got Durant, you got Beal. I think they'll be too big to start Chris Paul. Chris Paul should come off the bench, OG this season. Help the youngsters like Kuminga and them. Humble yourself. Come off the bench this season and help the younger guys. But he should not be starting over Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Wiggins, and what's our big center down there? Looney. That's the starting five. That's
Well,
just what it,
we'll see tonight, Coach.
yeah.
I doubt very seriously if Draymond starts.
And then it makes sense to Chris Paul to come off the bench because he can't stay
He
healthy.
probably will. He
Guy
probably will as the season goes on.
he need to, yeah, he need to pick his
Probably
shot.
will as the season goes on, as he get a little bit more in shape. But right now, I doubt if he starts tonight. He just got the okay 2 days ago.
Well, Draymond,
Yeah, so I doubt if he starts tonight though. Talking
well,
about the first game of the season, come off the bench. It's not uncommon for him to come off the bench, even when we didn't have Chris Paul. So yeah, well, I believe they're going to go small and then begin to spread the floor. See, even though they have height, you got to remember, they got offenses that can counter that height. All you do is spread the floor. We definitely know we're small. We've been small the last 4 years, which has been a big problem. But I
with
just think it's spread the floor.
Chris Paul though, cause we too small. Chris Paul and Stephen Curry in the backfield. I mean, backfield. Chris in the backcourt, and the backcourt is too small. You got Stephen Curry 6'3". You got Chris Paul 6 feet. They're too little to both start. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Well, they've been starting all preseason.
I mean, preseason don't count.
What?
No.
Oh, okay. All righty.
I don't take preseason. They just getting Chris Paul feet wet. But I know.
Hold on. Is it still not a game of basketball? What do you mean preseason doesn't count? Do you think that they were trying to lose the games? If you say it don't count, well, why do they play them?
Of course
why
not.
Do they keep a record?
Chemistry.
What do you mean it don't count?
It's good. It's a good warm up. I never really believed in preseason games, no matter.
Well, you probably don't because you're not. I mean, you're not playing the game. But coach, how does he know how his team's going to play if they don't count?
Well,
I'm not saying there's a championship in preseason, but what I'm telling you, that's a good sign of where your team is headed. Yes, they do count. You're not out there starting Chris Paul and Stephon Curry just to see them play for tickets. You're trying to see what kind of matchups you can get. You want to see how this is going to work.
But some teams that do horrible some teams that do horrible in preseason do amazing in the regular season.
Well, you know why that is? Because they don't play everybody. They stick with their first 7. You got your starting 5 and 2 backups. But see, when you play all those other people, see, like they did in preseason, they play a lot of second and third. People give them a chance to earn a spot on the team. But you got to start with your starting 5. And usually by the time the season starts, well, hey, you had your shot. So now I'm going, you got a first string and second string. Starting 5 is not really in the NBA. It's not really a starting 5. It's usually what it's called a starting 7 because those first 2 off the bench, you got your 6th man. He's coming off the bench first, right? Then you got the backup for the big guy because bigger guys they get tired fast. So what we're going to see, I look forward to. I tell you what, I bet you a banana to see Green.
Not a banana. I'm gonna be tuning in because I see it's gonna be playing on a couple of subscriptions. So I'll be tuning in.
Another shout out. I want to give a big shout out to the Las Vegas Aces. We gotta give a shout out to the ladies. Shout out to the beautiful ladies all over the world. Las Vegas Aces. Great back-to-back championships. They look really good versus New York Liberty. I mean, there brings a lot of excitement to ladies basketball. We hope that the ladies can get more a better wage, a better pay, better salary in ladies basketball because definitely I can say now I have definitely been watching basketball, ladies basketball. Shout out to Asia Wilson with the MVP. You know what I mean? And a shout out to Mark Davis. I mean, I could say this about Mark Davis. Inherited in the Raiders from his dad. He came down to Las Vegas, and the man got 2 teams now. I mean, he got the Las Vegas Raiders and the Las Vegas Aces, and he got 2 championships under his belt in ladies basketball. So that's pretty big. I mean, maybe the Raiders need to take some notes from the ladies and see what's up with these rings. But yeah, that was a big deal. They had a big parade out there. Uh, Great deal for ladies basketball. Hopefully they get paid more in the WNBA. And yeah, man. Hopefully we get more WNBA teams in different cities and
Agreed.
more exposure.
I agree. Well, it was a great episode today with y'all. So stay tuned and look out for us on Thursday's episode where we'll be covering the Bucks and the Bills.
Please believe it.
All right. Well, have a
All
good
right. Sports
Please
recap. Sports
recap, no
recap
cap.
focus.